All right, this is going to be Salt Lake City Real Housewives, season 6, episode 7, Above Deck. No, no. Yeah, Above Deck and Below the Belt. So we kind of start with a foreshadowing of the mayhem that is to be happening at the end of the episode. But the real start will be them all getting ready to go to the yacht, which I can't even remember what area they were supposed to be in. I forget. Somewhere in the Caribbean, somewhere down there. But anyway, Bronwyn ends up letting them know that she is missing the flight, so she's gonna be late, but she'll see them later. Whitney is thinking like, oh, okay, she must just be avoiding the obvious, all these allegations and rumors that she got going on. I understand, but listen, we're gonna talk about her whether she here or she not. It is a about what 15-hour flight or something like that. Captain Jack is the captain of this yacht. He is from Below Deck, I believe, one of the shows on Bravo. I don't really watch that one, or what is this? Below Deck and something else, or is it just Below Deck? I feel like it's two of them. Either way, I don't watch them. Of course, Lisa got to shade Angie about never being on a yacht, like, oh, but this is, was she only been on a bus or something like that? I don't know, whatever. But Angie surprisingly has actually never been on a yacht. So, she's really excited. I mean, I would be too. I've never been on a yacht myself, just some boats or whatever, right? But not no big luxurious yacht. They're all on the boat and, peeping the scenery, peeping the staff. Brittany, for one, is noticing all the guys, and she's a bit, a little excited, like, I am single now. And they're like, you ain't single. Yeah, it's a big ass yacht. It got like 4 bedrooms, everything you need. It looks like Bronwyn is gonna have to share a room with Brittany. I think that's that might be the right combination because they are the newest ones, and they haven't technically made friends with anybody in the core. What is it, core 5? So it makes sense for them to be together. Um, Jared, they made this joke with Brittany, like, listen, you talking about you on a 30-day break with this man. That means you can't even say his name. And if you say his name, we're gonna throw some water at you. Which she actually, what was it? Whitney grabbed a cup and just splashed her like a couple times. So that was kind of funny. Luckily, she can take this kind of joke. But Brittany does look at the captain like, okay, Captain Jason, well, I'm about to go talk to the captain. Okay. So Bronwyn is late, but she doesn't miss the boat takeoff. She actually makes it. Lisa shades her outfit, like, oh my God, I've seen it before. Obviously, she has wore it at some other time on a different boat. It was like a flotation device type outfit. And I mean, it's for occasion, very on brand, like Lisa said. And just being Lisa. So my question was the nipple thing a joke? Remember Heather was asking something about something with the nipples, and they went on the radio and was trying to look for it. I was like, really, Heather? And who had the cucumber? That was kind of funny. That girl, she was unpacking their stuff, which, you know what, I can unpack my own things. And it was probably like, yeah. And, a little short though. Like, girl, you gonna get a lot. Like, listen, the wake staff was telling other people, like, you know what I don't found? Like, listen, we probably see some crazy things, but I ain't never seen this. So as the ladies split off to change their clothes and all them type things, Meredith and Lisa are rooming together, and they're like, oh, we should say something about Bronwyn and the allegations, but I guess Heather told them not to. or they're gonna try to maybe just ease it in, but they definitely want to know what's going on. So Brittany and Bron went in the room together unpacking and changing. So Brittany asked her, like, girl, where was you at? Like, what's wrong with you? And, Bron was like, well, dang, I almost didn't come because, all the stuff that's in the press, I just wasn't sure if I was ready to, maybe just confront some of the, my thoughts on who possibly could have, spread these type of rumors about me, or not necessarily rumors because they are true, but you know she goes in to explain that nobody really reached out to her when the news broke except for Mary, so she does appreciate that. um she explains that the allegations, okay, so the first one is like two different instances, right? First one about 20 years ago, which would be the oldest one, had to do with her college, her dropping out early due to pregnancy, and not paying her last month rent, you know what I'm saying, getting evicted and whatever, other pending charges she might have had. Okay, she skipped out on it, they sued her, understandable. The other one is more recent. But I think she said it was still from about 10 years ago. But that one had to do with grand theft auto, grand theft, identity theft, fraud, under like a certain, like it's like uh almost like a RICO, where it's like five different charges under one bridge or one case, you know what I'm saying? So that's what she's saying she was involved with. But you know, it's causing some issues at home because Todd, being a professional businessman and things of that nature, that world, you're not supposed to be dealing with no type of criminal activity. So she's just trying to navigate all through that. And of course, she remember what Todd done said. Like, girl, I told you don't take your ass on that damn boat. You go there if you want to, but don't come home crying, talking about some Lisa did this, Lisa did that. Because you could have stayed home. Say, poor Angie. She done got seasick. Like, this your first time on a yacht, and mama just couldn't shake it. So pretty much when they go out to have lunch on, the patio, they pretty much flat out ask her, if she okay and everything like that. And of course she explains everything I just said about the case and, dealing with Todd and, all this stuff. Pretty much telling them that, yeah, it was way back from college and, the rent and charges, but the charges wasn't against me when it comes to the one that they're talking to. Not the first instance, because the first instance, obviously, yeah, but the second one was involving a previous job where, other co-workers or whatever will say, and maybe they were the ones that were actually convicted of said something, but she was involved in the paperwork. Okay, but it's a sealed case, so she can't talk about it. But that's kind of where I was trying to, my little investigation skills was working, or trying to put two and two together, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so like, I guess if you try to look it up, like, she has no police record or no mugshots or whatever. But she was just saying how, maybe it's just somebody in the group is spreading some lies. And when she says this, Lisa like, nope, I don't think nobody in this group is doing nothing like that, girl. I think it's weird that, maybe you would think that way, but nope. And Brown was like, well, I just think it's weird that it just only happens amongst this group. You know what I'm saying? And like a coincidence or something. And Lisa like, well, you know what? I just think it's weird that that you dug up some stuff on me. So, maybe you will be trying to be on some, or somebody's gonna be trying to be on some get back, type thing like this. But don't be trying to spend it on me. It ain't me. And all the while, everybody's just looking at Lisa, especially Whitney and Heather. Okay, definitely staring her down because they like, okay, I think she did it. You know what I'm saying? In a confessional, they, well, yeah, I think she did it. You think she did it? Yep. But I ain't gonna say nothing right now. Mary, she asked Bronwyn, well, do you think Lisa did it? And Bronwyn's like, I mean, me and her went through some things, right? And it would really hurt me. It would really be disappointing if it was her. So we X all that and we decided to go swimming, get in the water, play around with the floaties and the oceans, drink, you know what I'm saying? We on vacation, do what we supposed to do. Heather, she messed with Captain Jason before. I don't know. She was telling Brittany, go ahead, girl, that we just old friends and stuff like that. I mean, Heather's language, to you don't know what means what. Let's just say that, because she might say, "Oh, we met," whatever. We effed around a few times, but she was drunk as heck, and some of her meanings don't be meaning what we be meaning. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Lisa, um, it's a swan, okay, not a duck or a, what's she say? A duck or a something, but it's a swan. I'll say Angie, you're right. She was having fun for a minute, but she still couldn't shake it. She out there throwing up in the ocean. Elisa, of course, this girl, she's so full of it. That's what's making her sick, blah, 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 shade. Brittany, I thought you was on this 30-day break from Jared, but why do you have a stuffed unicorn that I think she probably went to Build a Bear or he went to Build a Bear and put the little talkie thing on the inside. So you push the button and it says, "Oh, I love you from Jared. Have a good night. Think about me." Like whatever it said. Like, girl, they trying to tell you don't throw this thing away. Like what the look, and then you out here trying to flirt with the captain and the co-captain and the bellboy. All right, so this is where things in the episode I guess go down from here, okay? It starts with Bronwyn and Whitney, okay? They all to the side. We're done swimming and things, getting ready for dinner, right? She expressed to Whitney that, she thinks Lisa's acting rather guilty, Um, there's a possibility that she done did it. I think she might have did it. So she brings up just examples of how she done came to this conclusion, which was before the allegations dropped to press, she had called her Conwyn, which a blogger somewhere had did that after the fact. So it's like, well, how did she come up with that name, right? Okay, strike one. And then she busted Whitney on her Alibaba Express jewelry or whatever for her Prism line. So, is it a coincidence or is it not? So, Brittany goes over to Heather and they're talking about the same thing, you know. Well, dang. Every time Lisa gets mad at somebody, something comes out about them, like, what, a week or whatever time, after the fact is leaked. It happened to Angie. It happened to me, Whitney. It happened to Bronwyn. Remember Meredith and her church when she went to go meet up with that man. Rest in peace, because I believe he has passed since then. And Meredith. Okay. So Heather, sitting there listening, and she actually agrees. When it comes to Heather, she putting her two and two pieces together. Like, well, dang, Lisa do be keeping tracks on people, like got a scorecard for everything that we're doing to her and all this type of stuff. And she think her proof would be how she spoke to Emma the jeweler about Bronwyn not purchasing that necklace that when she was supposed to supposedly had did. And she knows that personally was eavesdropping at her at the party, fishing for information from, from the patrons that was around. So, you know, mm, she asked Angie to dig up dirt on Meredith. So, mm, to her, all these lines just lead to Lisa. So Heather and Whitney grab Meredith because they like, listen, we need backup. If we're gonna confront Lisa, we need her bestest bestie, somebody on her side to back us up, and I guess be on our side too to help us, talk to her, right? So Meredith, they give her the whole spiel. And Meredith's like, well, listen, if Lisa's doing this, then yes, it will be a problem. Okay. If it's true. But I don't know. Like I ain't seen her do nothing. I ain't heard her do nothing. So I'm not too sure. She says she ain't did nothing. So I'm gonna take her word. I don't know. But in a confessional, she broke this down, which I kind of was thinking myself too. Like, well, dang, we all warped it to Lisa being a lie and being well, not being a lie, but really being a snoop and an investigator on all of us instead of asking Brown what the heck she was doing. But I mean, she says she can't talk about it because it's sealed. So I figured we're not gonna get too much far with her anyway when it comes to that. Like, I think she's gonna say what she can, and then that's just all gonna be. That's what's gonna be. So, she agrees that we can ask Lisa, and we'll just have to see what she says. Man, I watched this yesterday. So, had I recorded it yesterday after I watched it, this part was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. The funniest. This was like the funniest episode ever. Like, I think because I was rewinding it too. We go to dinner, and Heather's like, "Dang, I miss Angie and Mary's commentary being here at the table because they're gonna sit back at the room. Angie don't feel so well, so Heather or Mary's gonna sit with her, take her dinner in there, and you know, so Brittany like, dang, well, I don't miss Mary commentary. And Heather like, girl, now don't start that mess because we got a rule around here. We're trying to be open and honest with each other, okay? So, which means we don't talk mess or shit around about nobody that's not here to hear it and receive it, okay? So Brittany like, well, I mean, shoot, I ain't got no problem saying nothing to somebody's face or whatever. And Brian was like, well, why don't you speak up now and tell the people here at the table how you feel? And Brittany like, well, what? Like, what you mean? Like, what you mean? And Brahman just goes on to drop the whole dime that her and Brahman went shopping or something a couple days ago, like before the trip. Spilt the whole conversation. Like, she says Lisa is big sister in her, and she don't need that. She can handle it herself. Meredith, she just don't. She goes from 0 to 100 real quick, like she's having seizures or something. And I just be feeling like it's like she's faking or something. Like, I don't know, I don't understand it. So literally, Meredith is listening to this, and she goes like, this is a horrible thing to say to someone who does not have seizures. I have never had a seizure in my life, and there's people around the world who have seizure, and it's not funny to make fun. And my kid has had a seizure. This is despicable, and I don't care. And Brittany was like, "See, this is what I'm talking about. You're you're just having a seizure like right now. And like literally I just bust out cracking. Like I couldn't help myself, and I rewound it like maybe a few times. And each time, it just got better and better. Like I had to literally calm myself to get through to the next scene because it was literally Brittany. Like, yes, I can't believe she's the only one that was brave enough to say it. I guess, but rare, you short circuit Meredith. Like, it's not that you have seizures. Like, I wouldn't have used that word, but you definitely be short circuiting. And Meredith was so bad. Like, she gets up and she picks up a cup of water. I think she dumps it in Brittany's food, like not on her, but in her food. So Brittany's like, "Oh, what the heck is that?" She takes the water and tries to throw it back at, like literally toss it, throw it at Meredith, and Brown was in the middle. So she had got up like, "Dang, because y'all getting water all over me." But hey, you started it, so it's all your fault, girl. You deserve a little bit of something. And it was cool just to see, like I said, man, I liked it, Brittany, from the beginning. I'm like, I know she a little cuckoo, cuckoo, but it works, okay? Because she got something that is, she got the it that we need for TV and entertainment because it's funny as heck. And like, right, are we laughing at her or laughing with her? We kind of doing both. But I was here where like, girl, thank you for just letting Meredith know. Like, you just be girl. I can't with you. So Mary and Angie, they in the back room. They kind of flashed back to them just a little bit, just to see like every time the girls got loud and was heated, just to see what they was doing. We was just chilling and laying there, but they could hear like, dang, they something going on out there, but I don't know what they saying. Yeah, they getting loud. Man, So after Brittany and Meredith disengaged from their whole debacle, which was literally, like I said, this was the best scene ever in Salt Lake City. This was probably the best episode ever. I don't know. It was just the funniest episode. But the craziest because Heather decides that she got a backbone too. Okay? Everybody here needs to own up to they shit. Okay? And she drunk too, y'all. And them teeth that she got done, the words is slurring, the words is, I mean, we can hear them, but girl, you need some water, maybe take a nap and come back tomorrow to this conversation. But shoot, she was going, she was on a roll, and Whitney backing her up. Yes, we need to come clean about our conversation that we had earlier today. They looking at Meredith like, Meredith, you want to tell Lisa what we was talking about? And, Meredith like, I mean, we was talking, but Heather just straight up said, listen, since you backpedaling over there, we think you the source, Lisa. We think it's you that's leaking everything out to the press. And Lisa like, well, what? Me? Why y'all questioning me? Meredith like, listen, girl, I hope it's not true. Like was like we was talking in the room, right? And they was trying to, but I just hope it's not true. And of course, Lisa gonna get mad at Meredith because I hope you were sticking up for me. And Meredith was telling the girl, I had your back. I didn't say nothing bad about you or nothing. Like I just said we needed to talk. I just said that I believe whatever you said to me. So of course Lisa is livid. Okay, she is up there, and when she is up, it is stuck. And she was like, I must be the Dawn of Salt Lake City or something because this is weird. Y'all trying people from everywhere tell me stuff. So does that mean that I'm the one that be leaking stuff? And they're like trying to tell her, well, you're the one that does this, you're the one that does that. And she's trying to tell, oh, don't touch me, don't come near me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Y'all, what's she saying? Yeah, she like basically telling them that they ain't nothing without me being on this show. Cause y'all all y'all do is talk about me. So y'all should just be like, I shouldn't. Y'all should just be glad that I'm even talking to you, because remember, she thinks she up here and she does big things, and other she ain't around these folks. She on a whole nother level. Which I'm thinking in retrospect, for everybody got different jobs, right? For her job, it puts her, I think, in maybe better places than some of the other girls would be in. Um, probably without the show. Like if they wasn't on the show, Lisa would be still at the Sundance and at this, putting this party together and, putting this together and selling, you know what I'm saying? Versus the other ladies who would just be, kind of just regular, stegular people. The wait staff is definitely like, what the heck is going on? These girls is crazy. Lisa yelling at Meredith, demanding that she gives her an apology, and I hope you stood up for me. You better say sorry to me. So Meredith's like, girl, chill out. Like I did stick up for you and whatever, whatever. Heather, like I said, it's just going straight in. I've been a good friend to you, and I'm not going back down. I just want you to admit it. Like, say it to Bronwyn. Say that you're the one who did it. Say that you're the source. Say that you're the leak. Say that you did it. It was you. It was you. It was you. And Lisa's like, no, how can you be my friend if you're going to be accusing me and stuff like that? Because if you was really my friend, you would know that I wouldn't do this. You guys are just spinning it all on me. Why is it all on me? So with all the back and forth and yelling, because Lisa was calming down for a minute, and she would go back into her rage, and she would call back a little bit, and she would go back to crying. And Heather was like, listen, if you can't own it, then you can't be a good friend, because I've been such a good friend to you. You can get off the boat. And Lisa was like, really? You want me to get off the boat? I can't believe this. I thought you would be my friend, Heather. I've never thought that you would do this to me. And you want me to admit to something that I didn't do. And I mean, do y'all think Lisa did this? I'm trying to piece all the evidence of things together, and I'm looking at her reactions and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, because remember, it was Monica when they thought it was Meredith. So what if they really are wrong? Like, her reaction, I know it's always extreme, but she literally goes, calls John. She always have to call John. I literally thought, I was saying, right, is she about to push Heather over the boat? That's all I was thinking about. When Heather was following her, trying to get, just, I need you to do this, and just saying, just admit it, and just following her all around the boat. I'm like, girl, Heather, if you don't back off, this gonna be another black eye moment, and we definitely gonna know who did it this time. So we end the episode where everybody's trying to figure out, how do we fix this at this point, right? How do we come back from this? Heather went crying actually to Angie and Mary, like, oh my God. Um I just confronted Lisa, and you know, I don't know what to do now. Like, what do I do next? She's not admitting to anything. Um, like what? Mary, of course, and Angie was giving her kudos for standing up to Lisa like she should have. Like, I'm glad you could speak up for yourself and this and that. But, you just gonna have to go to her, just talk to her calmly, tell her how much a good friend you are, and just tell her how you feel, and maybe she will be open to listen. So, Heather's gonna try it again. She's walking around the boat trying to find her. Where's Lisa? Where's Lisa? Where's Lisa? Um, she was sitting out on do we call it like a patio floaty? That just sits off on the side of the boat, where you could just kind of sit. I think that's kind of where you would go and jump off and all the type of stuff, right? Just sitting there talking to John, crying like, oh my God, why would they do this to me? And that's where the episode ends. So that's why I'm like, ooh, the next one, is she about to push Heather off the boat? Because I don't know. Did y'all see all the fishes in the water? I'm like, I don't think they eat humans or nothing. But if she pushed you off the boat, Heather, I mean, I know y'all can swim, but it might be warranted. Okay, because like I said, did she really do it or not? Y'all don't have the definitive proof to actually pin all these allegations on her. So that's all I'm saying. Like, you know, because like I said, it was Monica before when they thought it was Meredith. So if they think it's Lisa, then it could be somebody else. Okay. Possibly the blog person that said Conlon. I mean, we don't know. But we'll get back to the next episode. Like I said, I actually really liked this one. It was really, really good. It was really, really funny. I think the best of Brittany so far. And yeah, we'll get to the rest of the season. Peace out.